The training ground at Carrington buzzed with renewed energy today as Manchester United's players stepped onto the pristine pitches under the watchful eye of their new manager, Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese tactician, known for his meticulous approach and emphasis on tactical discipline, wasted no time in stamping his philosophy on the squad. Amorim's appointment as Manchester United's manager has ushered in a wave of optimism among fans and players alike. Arriving from Sporting CP, where he turned the Portuguese club into title winners, Amorim's pedigree for nurturing talent and implementing fluid, attacking football is expected to reshape United's fortunes. The early signs of change were evident today as the players participated in a training session that combined high-intensity drills, tactical shape and specific focus on defensive organisation areas that have troubled United throughout the season. The session began with a brief huddle led by Amorim, whose calm yet assertive demeanour commanded the squad's attention. Reports suggest that the manager, keenly aware of United's vulnerabilities at set pieces and defensive lapses, instructed his coaching team to focus on improving positioning during dead ball situations. Players were split into small groups, with one half practicing offensive corner routines, while the other half drilled defensive formations. Set-piece specialists such as Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen were heavily involved in rehearsing deliveries aimed at exploiting gaps in opposition defences. Meanwhile, defenders like Raphael Varane and Lisandro Martinez worked tirelessly to regain defensive cohesion, with Amorim stopping play frequently to issue tactical tweaks. Coaching staff could be seen animatedly pointing at zones, urging the players to communicate better in close spaces that had previously been left exposed. Fitness and conditioning pushing physical limits. After weeks of gruelling fixtures, fitness conditioning was high on Amorim's agenda. Under the guidance of fitness coaches, players endured short, high-intensity sprints combined with recovery sessions to improve their endurance and sharpness. Young stars like Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo impressed with their energy, while seasoned players like Marcus Rashford showed determination to push beyond their limits. Reports suggest that Amorim praised Garnacho's work rate, pulling him aside to encourage the youngster to maintain his fearless approach on the ball. For the goalkeepers, the session included specific training to sharpen reflexes. Andre Onana, whose shot-stopping abilities have been vital this season, was put through rigorous drills alongside backup keepers Altay Bayındır and Tom Heaton. At the heart of Amorim's coaching philosophy lies team chemistry, ensuring players understand their roles while seamlessly working together. Today's session placed heavy emphasis on quick, one-touch passing drills, fostering better link-up play between the midfield and attack. Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount orchestrated the tempo in midfield, often breaking into short-sided games that Amorim used to assess pressing intensity and attacking transitions. Anthony Martial, who recently returned from injury, joined in to regain rhythm, linking up effectively with attacking teammates. Amorim's communication style is particularly notable. He frequently spoke to players one-on-one, explaining tactical nuances and building personal relationships, something he is renowned for in his coaching career. Amorim was meticulous in addressing Manchester United's defensive struggles. Throughout the session, players were instructed to remain compact, minimise spaces between lines, and anticipate opposition movements. Defenders practiced zonal marking and pressing triggers, with Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof stepping up to showcase leadership in defensive blocks. Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw, playing on the flanks, worked on overlapping runs while also ensuring their recovery positioning remained solid. In line with Manchester United's tradition of promoting youth, Amorim's session included academy talents like Willy Cambuala, Isak Hansen Aroen, and Amad Diallo. The manager is reportedly impressed with the talent pool at United and plans to integrate promising youngsters into first-team setups. Kobbie Mainoo, already a fan favourite, featured prominently in midfield drills where his composure and awareness drew praise from teammates. Marcus Rashford's Manchester United career remains at a crossroads, and Ruben Amorim has done nothing to change that. His decision to leave the forward out of Sunday's Manchester derby at the Etihad Stadium threatened to become the main story on a day of rivalry. Ahmad quotes late winner, and the dramatic comeback in general ensured that the absence of Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho from the matchday squad was put to the side. Rashford's future is still up in the air though. Explaining that this was not a disciplinary action, Amorim stated that his ruthless actions were instead about raising standards within the group. instead of playing in one of the two biggest games of the season, a fixture in which Rashford has a long history and connection as an academy graduate, the 27-year-old was made to train in the morning. He watched from home as United landed another sucker punch to Pep Guardiola. Ahmad, given the chance to operate further forward without Garnacho or Rashford's presence, took his chance. Whether related or not, Amorim insists not. The timing of this call, which was reported by the Manchester Evening News prior to team news being released at 3:15 p.m. on Sunday, comes shortly after suggestions that Rashford will be allowed to leave next year. If a suitable offer emerges in January, just 2 weeks away now, it is claimed United would consider it. Rashford signed a bumper new long-term deal at United in July 2023 after scoring 30 goals the season before. He has managed just 15 in the 18 months since and still had 3.5 years left on his deal. He is one of the top earners at the club and is nowhere near as valuable as at either of his two previous peaks, where talk of between £60 million and £80 million had been rife. United are thought to be open to letting Rashford leave now, however, and will entertain bids for their long-serving attacker. The club are not described as anticipating teams to come forward mid-season due to financial constraints, but that is one of the reasons United themselves would be happy to see him leave, as they fight profitability and sustainability rules PSRs. The Mail added that another option would be for Garnacho or Kobbie Mainoo to be sold. That is not part of the plans though, with a Rashford exit being preferred. Paris Saint-Germain have also been pitted as one of the few viable options for Rashford. Saudi Arabia is another potential destination, due to the wealth available for many clubs. The French giants in particular have been in the mix for Rashford previously. Ahead of the 2022 World Cup, President Nasser Al-Khelaifi spoke about Rashford with his contract set to expire at the time. He's another player that is really amazing. And for free, he said, to have Rashford for free, every club would definitely run after him. We're not hiding it, we spoke before and there was interest, but the moment was not a good moment for both sides. Maybe summer, why not? Today, if he's a free agent, of course we can talk to him directly, but we are not going to talk to him now. Let him focus on the World Cup. Then after in January, hopefully if we're interested we will talk to him. Charles Watts says that it is unlikely that Arsenal make a move for Rashford, despite being linked with him for several years. However, he adds that Mikel Arteta's side are in the market for another versatile forward and would sanction another loan to get themselves through to the summer. Fabrizio Romano adds, for Marcus Rashford, it's not the first time that we've seen this kind of situation. So basically what's going on is that Manchester United will talk to the player and let's see what kind of situation there will be around Marcus Rashford. In recent weeks we've had many links with an exit of Marcus Rashford, but what we have to say today is Man United have not entertained any negotiations, so they didn't receive any concrete bid for Marcus Rashford. January is in 2 weeks, so at the moment, still nothing concrete for the January transfer window.